Hello, conscious leaders. Today, I want to kick off my presentation with the story. And so it all started with the one simple idea, collective wisdom. Dean Graziosi, who's entrepreneur, bestseller author, and also a coach, and I happen to be in his group, some years back envisaged a community of entrepreneurs that he was traditionally coaching entrepreneurs individually and doing a keynote speaking gigs alongside Tony Robbins. He decided to create this community. And the goal was to build a network of like-minded people who have experience in building businesses, and they all had a unique experience. So they were able to, so this is to allow a network of these people and being able to share their unique wisdoms. So initially, he was quite nervous about this. He was quite apprehensive because he didn't have this kind of experience. That was the first time that he was doing something like that. But nevertheless, he jumped in this uncharted territory. And as the team, the group was together, they started to interacting, and they started to share things, share their challenges and share their wisdom. And so that was the magical moment, as Dean calls it. And so as he explained, that the participants didn't just receive advice, they received transformation, because they started to solve each other problems, and they were offering support to each other and encouragement and different perspectives. And so out of this collaboration, there was more aspiration born. And you know, as the time passed, people were actually going into higher level of their business. So they were more courageous and more trusting themselves that they can do it because they had the right support. And so Dean called it a mastermind. And as it developed, this mastermind was sought after group. And he was able to charge, at the time, I believe he charges much more now, $25,000 a year as an annual subscription. So this story I see as being a beacon to what could happen to us, and if we embrace that kind of idea. So I want to introduce you to the idea of the power of hope. And this idea, actually, Dean's coach, one of Dean's coaches was Dan Sullivan, and he kind of developed this idea in his school. He runs a strategic coaching school, which apparently is the most successful school in America. And so in the spirit of this idea, he also, because I got the idea from the book, and the book is written by a student of Dan Sullivan. So they totally embraced the idea that Dan Sullivan wanted to spread that message around the world, but he wanted to find someone who will write that message, who will write that book. And so Dr. Benjamin Hardy is actually an author of this book, with the support, in the collaboration, and basically talking about the idea that was developed by Dan Sullivan. So this is the kind of the background. But imagine let's go back to our kind of thinking. Imagine the world where the idea you have was brought to life not just by you alone, but in collaboration with dynamic team alongside you. And this is at core the idea of every successful business, because it's in businesses, it's not necessarily asking about how, it's looking for the people, for the right people who can take this idea further. So looking for the who people. How's this resonating with you? Is that kind of landing?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So think about Apple, for example. Everyone talks about Steve Jobs and possibly his partner, Steve Wozniak. But behind them, behind the idea of Apple, there was a group of talented individuals who shared Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak vision. So they were adding to that vision and taking their idea to the next level and to the even higher level that Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak wouldn't be able to do it alone. So today, I invite you to make a shift when you're thinking about your goal and ask a different question. Who can help me achieve my vision? Instead of, how can I do this? Because this is the kind of question that we have been taught at school. The teacher asking, how can you do this? How? No one really taught us to ask this other question. And from what I'm learning from the highly successful entrepreneurs, this is the kind of questions that they're asking themselves every day. So I'm curious.
Still had.
If you would shift your mind, what would that make? What difference would that make to your progress? Because I see you as visionaries, and I know you want to bring something unique. All of us, we want to bring something to unique through our business, but the very rarely the success is developed in a solitude. There's always a group of people behind that. And as our role as entrepreneur is to find the right people who will help us to take us to the next level. So in that process, I'd like to share 3 concepts with you. So when you're building your business, when on your entrepreneurial journey, you are most likely facing a lot of challenges. And those challenges, the first thing we think is, how am I going to do it? You are tapping into your resourcefulness. But if we were shifting our thinking and thinking about, okay, what about power of network? We could achieve much more in collaboration.
Yeah.
And as I mentioned, Apple and many other businesses, they tried because they connected with the collaborative brilliance, right? So the quote that I'm sharing here, alone we can do so little, together we can do so much, by Helen Keller. And Helen Keller is was the author and disability rights activist, and political activist. So obviously she was talking about community, about support, so people don't suffer alone. The second concept that I wanted to share is about redefining independence. And so the very basis of people wanting to start their own business or leading entrepreneurial lifestyle is because they want to be independent. And, later we will be talking about freedoms. And so, but we forget about the power of collaboration here. So I encourage you to challenge yourself today and think about, in the context of your business that you are building, who can be your partner on this journey. And I'm not saying that partner in terms of, a partner in the legal sense of your business, who can add something to your business, so then you can accelerate on your journey. And a last concept, I want to talk about the 4 freedoms.
Mm-hmm.
And so once we shift the focus from how to who, we can actually unlock those freedoms. And everyone, when they're talking about starting a business, stop being an employee, everyone talks about freedom of time, freedom of money, and freedom relationships, and freedom of purpose, right?
Yeah.
And so, but then they go through the entrepreneurial journey, and once they're focusing and they doing everything alone because of all different reasons, they actually question themselves, where am I going to achieve those freedoms? So I want to give you examples, and I'm going to take examples from the book to explain. There are many examples there, how by shifting our thinking and joining the collaborative wisdom, we can actually achieve all those 4 freedoms. So freedom of time. So the example that I want to bring was this young man who came with his parents to America because he wanted to become he wanted to follow the tradition in his family, because both his father and his grandfather were tennis players, that he will come to America to become a tennis player. But then he quickly realized he also had another passion, and he quickly realized that he doesn't really belong to this community. And so he felt like he is, odd one in this community, because he had another passion. He wanted to create music because he went to Deep Purple concert with his father early in his life, and he was really taken by what musician can do on the stage. So his name was Lars Ulrich, and he was the later on a founder of heavy metal band Metallica. But how this led to it is that he in desperation, because he felt alone, he put an ad in the paper looking for someone who would like to play music with him. And this other man came along, and he liked playing guitar, and Ori was playing the drummers, and they started to play, and that's how they end up creating something that they really loved. So they had a freedom of time because they were very successful, and they were doing what they really wanted. So they utilized their life. They had a total fulfillment. So this is how you can achieve the freedom of time. You didn't have to work elsewhere to make the money for living. The second freedom is freedom of money. And it's all about utilizing your time so you can do the higher value tasks. But how can you do it if you are alone in your business, and you actually have to do every task, everything. And not everything is something that you feel very confident about, and it takes more time, and that's when the procrastination starts and so forth. And he started to question, why have I started this business? I haven't got the freedom of money. I actually don't make any money, but I work harder than I used to work in the office. So another story example to talk about how you can utilize other people to gain the time to do high quality tasks was this guy who was the real estate agent, and he wanted to expand his business, and he moved to a different town. And so what he needed to stay there in this other town for a week each month, and he needed a place to live, and he needed to clean up and so forth. So he bought a place, and he hired a lady who would clean after him, and so the unit will be ready when he home will be ready when he comes back a month later. But then over time, he started to think, actually, I would like someone who will just prepare this home like home. So the car will be ready, standing, everything will be cleaned, there will be food in the fridge, the food will be cooked, and so forth. And so he suggested to that lady, could you do this? And she kind of said, no, I've never tried, but I will try it. And she has done it. She actually built a business upon that idea later on. But that what gave him that he was totally freed from doing all these little tasks, and it was able to put his time into the higher value tasks and make more money.
Mm.
The third freedom is freedom of relationships, and so we want. So the idea is that we nourish, we create relationship in our life that they will be uplifting us and propel us on our mission, and so that requires that we really find the right people and meet and be around right people. And the story is that I've chosen was about Joe Polish, who's also a respected entrepreneur up in America, and writing books and being a coach. And he believed that ability to build successful business is to create starting with creating relationships around that will the quality relationships that will understand him and so forth. And so his approach was that to create good good relationship. In his idea was that give the value first. So provide a value to a person, and therefore that person will be with you, will be providing back value to you. And so he joined. There is this like a event that he joined, the dinner with Richard Branson, and they pay a lot of money to join that dinner. And so while everyone at that dinner was trying to pick up the brains, Richard Branson brains, he had a different approach. One of his businesses was he was a marketer. So he came up with the idea to Richard Branson, and he said, look, I have an idea how to create a videos for your brand, for Virgin Blue. And so you can use that video in different locations, and people will know about your brand. So Richard Branson was very interested, and he gave him his personal email. And as it happened, Joe Polish was the only one who received personal contact with Richard Branson on that day, only because he had this idea how to create relationships. And the fourth one is a freedom of purpose. And the story I picked, it's a lovely story about a young lady who is a lawyer, and she wanted to write a biography book about her grandmother, who was a Black woman activist and achieved a lot of things. And she wanted to write that book. She started to write, but she was busy at work, and it was really taking a long time for her to finish that book. And out of the blue, one day she received the email from a professional author who said that she's writing the biography about her grandmother, and she would like to meet with the family members to find out more about her. So her first reaction was, oh, I'm in a competition. Now I have to finish this book even faster because she is going to publish this book before me and so forth. But then she started to struggle because she didn't have time. So she spoke with her coach and said, what should I do? And the coach happened to be Benjamin Hardy. He said, no, I suggest that you approach it differently. Because this lady is a professional biography writer. She probably has a lot of access to editors, to publishers, and so forth. She knows how to do it, and she can finish that book faster. And so I suggest you could do is to ask her to do to publish joint name book. And that's what she has done. And the lady, the author, was very, very happy about this. And so they collaborated. And in the end, her life purpose was fulfilled because she always thought that she wanted to write a book about her grandmother achievements. So as you can see, if we change our thinking, if we shift our thinking, we started to think, okay, I really am passionate about this business. How can I collaborate with other people? Or who should I be? I can achieve all the freedoms that I want. So I know I'm maybe taking you out of the blue, but I just want to help you look at just take this opportunity and maybe look at your where you are. And I've given you 4 questions, and perhaps if you could ask yourself these questions, and at the bottom I've written, what freedoms you achieved through, resolving these questions, or maybe add to your business, maybe that would be helpful. So what I suggest, perhaps if either of you or both, don't rush, maybe take the opportunity and say, okay, read the question and say, how could I utilize this question, So you have some ideas. It doesn't, the crazy thing is that we might have come up with the crazy ideas, but over time, week later, we might start to think, okay, this is not such a bad idea. So who would like to go first? Shall we take one by one? Maybe we'll just do question by question, and then both of you maybe have comments. So what are some tasks you currently handle alone that could potentially be outsourced or delegated? And I don't want you to say, oh, I would like to delegate this and this, but I haven't got the finance for it. I don't want you to think that way. Just think about this. So I know, and you are building your you're like a
Yeah.
network marketing business, and
Yeah.
you are trying to get more people into your business, and I'm assuming that perhaps you have some tasks
Mm-hmm.
that's really draining you. Do you think if you had someone else on the team,
Mm-hmm.
this task would be done by someone else?
In terms of the what happened in what we experienced in the network marketing, we play because it's me and Tim in the team. We play based on our strength. So we divide, like he's more into sales, he's more into talking to people, whereas I do more of the support, or say training people with the back office or stuff
Mm-hmm.
like that. And the good thing is that the team has, our upline, they have their own website for the training materials. So it's pretty much more of guiding them. We don't need to show everything, but basically handing them the list, which is also automated automated in a way, because there's like 1 to 10 tasks, and then I think that was developed for us, which is good. But maybe some of the tasks internally between me and team, I would say, we still need to refine between the two of us. We need to help each other. Okay, this is something that I couldn't do, then I would need to delegate to him, and vice versa.
Mm-hmm.
Vice versa.
Right. So you really need to make a list of the tasks that you are doing, and
Yeah.
maybe have a cut through this list, you know,
Mm-hmm.
another look at the list and
Yeah.
say, okay, actually, this, I really like you to focus on that, and I
Mm-hmm.
focus on that because it's a better use of my time.
Yeah, yeah. But and also, just to answer the one out as to outsourcing or delegation, I think with regards to our, say,
Mm-hmm.
tax matters, or accounting matters, we pretty much hand it over to the, what they call this, the tax accountant. So I don't deal in that matter at this point, because I'm doing my own work, accounting work, in my full-time job. So that's something that I do not handle for now. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So you haven't, uh, but if you were, you know, growing your business to the next
Mm-hmm.
level,
Mm-hmm.
do you see any tasks that you might
Mm-hmm.
be wanting to get rid of?
For now, I would say, because well, we're still, I mean, our from us to downline, we're 200. And what happened was that somebody developed boards. Have you heard about it? Like board system boards. So anyway, it's like a network marketing tool, I think, that is available to all of us. So I think that basically help in the hard, what do you call it? The heavy lifting in terms
Mm-hmm.
of supporting the people. So
Mm-hmm.
once they install the app in their phone, I think it's pretty much automation in a way, which was
Mm-hmm.
very helpful, I could say. We did not do the apps, we did not do all the whatever it is. It's a matter
Mm-hmm.
of us copying and pasting and sending to
Sure.
people. Yeah.
Wow, cool. Good.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
So
I think
these are,
it's more about the internal part for me and team. So we don't do the job twice. So at least we know what, okay, this is my responsibility. That's your responsibility. Then we just probably need to monitor what's the
mm-hmm.
progress on that area.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ed.
Yeah.
Elizabeth, would you like to share your
Mhm.
thoughts?
Well, what are the some tasks you currently handle alone and could be potentially be outsourced or delegate? Well, I think if I haven't got a website to, I don't know how to do it, and I think was very good when I had some years ago, and I lost the plot with that, so that will be helpful.
Mm-hmm.
And when I'm writing book, was good when I did put to editor. So that was helpful also, but cost. So
Mm-hmm.
that's how I can think about it. And sometimes to delegate I was thinking about it, because I have an ideas, and maybe somebody can change that idea to really good outsources for others.
Mhm.
So if they creating in different way that I do, because I advertise in little things, but I think I need more study in that too to have a bigger picture about. I
Yeah.
did talk to people, and they want to take over. Really, they told me so. If really I want to be with them, I can inject some ideas, and they will do as their program.
Mm.
That's how I withdrawn myself from, because giving for free something. So,
Yes. Yes. So you got an idea. Yes, there are a few good ideas there that could help you propel you onto the next level, because you are at the moment stuck with all the technical things that not
technical things.
necessarily are your strengths.
Yeah.
Yeah, makes sense. Okay. Um, the next question is about making more money, but who is in your network? Who in your network could you collaborate with to create win-win financial strategy?
My network to create a win-win financial strategy.
Any ideas? Maybe that one is too specific.
Maybe the first one that I could think of is the tax account. Because she knows how we can save in terms of the tax payments and stuff like that. Now that we are a couple, I think
Right, right.
that's number one. And of course, what
Yeah,
else?
it's important. So you will have a specialist who specializes in tax return.
Yeah, like, and also because in a way, I'm not single anymore, right? Like in terms of status and stuff like that. Like some are shared. What do you call this? Like we did self-managed super, so stuff like that will be. It's not my expertise.
Mhm.
So maybe, yeah, that's what I could think
I
of for
have,
now.
yeah, got
Yeah,
looking into that. Thank
yeah.
you, Ed.
Mhm.
Elizabeth, what do you think?
well, I'm thinking, yeah, I think collaborate with somebody. Like you said about the even books, if somebody can write and put two names together, then you're
Mhm.
creating financial strategy, and you might have more and quicker action what you want to do.
Mhm.
So that's what I was thinking. Uh,
Mm. Yeah, maybe collaborate and write a book with someone who has similar thing but a different
mm,
angle, and
Mhm.
maybe they already have um, understanding of publishing and so forth. Yeah,
Mhm.
might be a good idea because Elizabeth is into books. She's writing those books.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Elizabeth. Yeah, something to think about is relationship. Um, what steps can you take today to strengthen your professional network or community?
Maybe attending more events for me.
Attending
Attending
events.
more events, like live events. Like
Yeah.
mhm.
I did it once or twice last year, and I think it strengthens because there are people, like especially women, I do not know in much in Brisbane, and maybe I could connect with them because they're in similar journey.
Mm,
And I think that's what they say after COVID, right? The face-to-face connection or face-to-face networking is like being missed. So
mhm.
me going out there, probably joining more events, would really strengthen this part of my,
Mm.
yeah.
So, and remember the idea of Joe Polish idea. The way he attended the events, And this event with Richard Branson probably cost him, I don't know, $200,000 or $500,000 because that's how they organize it for business people. And so he applied his strategy that, okay, what can I offer to Richard Branson so he can connect with me? You know what I mean? So, he was just basically looking for the business from the perspective, okay, what can I offer? So my thinking is when you're going to these community events, perhaps you prepare something about yourself so that will become attractive to the others.
Yeah.
That's what comes to my head right now.
Yeah.
Elizabeth.
Definitely it is. I remember when I did recreation activities, I was coordinating. I have different networks, and I learn a lot from them. I mean, the purpose and mainly what they keep in mind and how they want to develop. So probably I supposed to reach more. In nursing, I did go to Nurses Association. I did have once a speech there, actually twice almost, because they're the one we share with girl. Yeah, so it's giving you idea where they up to and what you can bring, and maybe they will give you a point what you do and not how you can improve that. So I was thinking, I always like to work with the community. So yeah, that has to be stepped up.
Okay, on that line, Elizabeth, I know Elizabeth wants to help overworked women, and in particular, one group, it's a huge group, nurses are overworked and are stressed out and so forth. And you mentioned that you have been participating in some nursing association events. And you could go to this event and at the same time, as what I suggested to add, use Joe Polish's idea. Okay, what can I offer to them so they benefit from me, and therefore they likely to connect with me. So, because you are in competition, say the meeting is 50 people, you want to stand out. You want to be someone who can bring value to some individuals or to the organization. And the last question is, what partnerships or collaborations would enhance your sense of purpose within your business?
I think for now, what I can see is like this. What's going what we are doing is a great way of collaborating, because our minds, our ideas are being shared with each other. Like, we are in different fields, but in a way, we know that we have one goal, right? To succeed in our business, to expand our business, and that space we're in, I'm safe to share my ideas without being judged, is present in this way of collaborating with each other.
Thank you. Thank you. I think exactly the same. And that this community is, I can feel it's like a training space. I can be vulnerable. I can share things. I don't need to be the best or perfect and so forth. I like to be here because I learn from others. And I can test if my ideas, even this presentation, I can see where, the parts of the weakness. So this gave me the opportunity of presenting it, but it also gave me the opportunity to build upon it. Yeah. So that adds. And Elizabeth.
Yes, collaboration, really, it's good. I did work with some people when I used to be active nursing, actually, and I can see a sense of that. and a purpose, because you can bring some topics which maybe will enhance them in health, as we said. I went also on to the State Library, and we talk about the books which one we produce, and I learn also I have a different point of view, and the people who were there, they pick up some stuff which I did say. So I think exchanging messages and be with them, it's already, something which on both ways, both groups, or everybody can enhance the action in a business.
But do you know anyone specific that you'd like to maybe expand your partnerships or collaboration?
I had actually yesterday one of the women which I used to work. She has a doctor degree in nursing, and she used to go traveling to different parts of Australia actually to talk about nurses and the work. But never was mentioned about the mental preparation for hard workship. So how to drain the energy and so on. And when she saw my book, actually, she did some little comment on. So I might go that way.
Yeah, good idea. Sounds like a right person. If she's, talking, giving us talks on nursing but doesn't cover the angle that you do, like perhaps you could join with her and suggest that maybe you do 10 or 15 minutes contribution to her talks. Sounds good. Okay, that will be it. I'm gonna stop sharing. We're almost right on time. We're 10 minutes earlier. But I know you have busy schedules. And so all I wanted to say that in 2 weeks' time, Barbara will present her topic. She's going to share her topic soon. Once she comes back from holiday, she said she will send something like a preview what she's going to talk about. And so I'm looking forward to that. And if you have other friends or people, bring them in, because so many people kind of dropped out. And the more of us, there are on that journey, we can learn from each other.
Yep.
Okay, with that in mind, have a great evening.
Thank you.
I'm gonna stop.
Thanks, Jolanta, for sharing.
Thank you. Thank you.
Should I stop? Pause.